Good morning, everybody. This is Dan Spatz on behalf of the Dalles Area Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to the Dalles Chamber Community Affairs. Today is Thursday, July 9th, and our guest this morning, Ellen Woods, Executive Director of the Dalles Art Center. Ellen, thank you for joining us.
Thank
Before we turn it over to Ellen, let's go around the table
you.
and ask for organizational updates. We've got good attendance this morning and more people joining as we talk. So, Trish, I'm going to start with you in my upper left-hand corner. Take it away.
Thank you. Trish Neil with Legal Shield. We are in, excuse me, in Puerto Rico, and we offer now translations in Spanish, French, Russian, and more. I'll drop my information in the comments, and also a link to the original Wasco County Courthouse newsletter that's just out.
Thank you, Trish, and thanks for getting up at 5 to join us from Alaska. And also on the chat, anyone, please feel free to put your contact information, any special events, anything like that in the chat box. Mr. Lee Weinstein, and then I'll turn it over to Corliss. Lee, you're muted, sir.
Lee Weinstein out here in Dufferland, member of the Q-Life board and OPB.
Thank you, Lee. Corliss, and then Roger.
Morning, everyone. Corliss Marsh here. I'm with Habitat for Humanity and the library and the senior center. Big news this week, big parking lot sale at the senior center. Come on by 9 to 2. So we're even going to have scooter races and live band playing. So come on down.
Scooter race. Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Thank you, Corliss. And go ahead, please put detail in the chat as well. Roger, and then Bill Lennox.
I'm going to put $5 on Corliss on the scooter races. I think it's a natural. She's everywhere
right.
anyway.
Well,
so,
we were warmed up last week in the parade. We did the whole parade, and I didn't fall off.
There you go. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Trish, for putting the newsletter up. I'm the original Wasco County Courthouse. I'm also on the board of the Discovery Center and on the Gorge Commission. I want to mention that the original Wasco County Courthouse has now digitized 165 original talks. They are available for purchase for as little as $1 each in quantity. I also want to plug the fact that if anybody here is interested, I'll be moderating a candidates night discussion in White Salmon next Tuesday between the 3 candidates for Klickitat County Sheriff put on by the League of Women Voters. That starts, I believe, at 7 o'clock. And I believe they will be streaming that as well. So just heads up on that one. Thank you.
It will be streaming, Roger. I didn't know you were moderating that. That's very good to know. Thank you. I'm over in Klickitat County, and I've been tracking that one very closely. We've got some interesting candidates. Bill, and then Scott McKay.
Good morning. I'm with North Central Public Health, and I'm representative for Wasco County. And I'm looking forward to hearing what's this discussion this morning. Thanks.
Thank you, Bill. Scott, and then Mike Wacker.
Good morning, everyone. Scott McKay. I just want to make sure everyone is aware that the respite program, which provides opportunity for caregivers who are caring for someone living with dementia, a little break, because often that is a 24/7 type of responsibility. And it's every Tuesday at St. Paul's Episcopal Church. Fantastic location. And I'm not on top of it to give you a phone number, but if you call the Mid-Columbia Senior Center, I'm sure they connect you with the net. But it's an opportunity to take a break if you're caring for someone living with dementia. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you for doing that. I know your work to promote that. Mike Wacker, and then Julie Reynolds.
Good morning, everybody. Just to follow up with Scott, my wife Shelley volunteers with that program, and they have a really good time. They have a lot of wonderful activities, a lunch, so I highly recommend it. Kiwanis Club I'm with the Fort Dalles Museum and Kiwanis Club. Kiwanis Club was very busy on the 4th of July. We lined up the parade. And then we helped with the community meal, I guess you could call it, at the Veterans Home. It was incredibly successful. We expected maybe about 300 people and got over 600 people. So we were very, very busy, but had a wonderful time. It was a beautiful day. A little on the warm side, but there was Jade, the activities director at Veterans Home, just did a wonderful job throwing this together in a short period of time. So hopefully it'll end up being a yearly event. And the grounds at the Veterans Home was incredible. It's probably still all there. It was just beautiful how it was. The outside, if you've been up there, there's a big round circle to go around, and it was just amazing what they had done. So anyhow, everyone have a good day.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you for doing that. We were so fortunate to have that facility in the community. I remember when we competed for the location at a statewide level, and the Dalles made the case and brought it here back in the 90s. Thank you. Julie and then Tonya Bromley.
Good morning. I'm Julie Reynolds, historic St. Paul's Episcopal Chapel, or I guess we're just calling it St. Paul's Chapel. It's not non-denominational, but it's being used as a community resource, and we were going to be having some programs later on this year. And also, I'm on the Fort Dalles Museum Commission, and I wanted to invite everyone to come to our meeting. It's a public meeting. It's held in the Steve Kramer Room at the old Payless building, the county offices, and it'll be on Tuesday the 14th at 5 o'clock. We're always having interesting times. So you're invited. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. And go ahead and throw those details in the chat. Good to know. And St. Paul's located on Union next to City Park. Oh, let's see. Tonya, and then we'll turn it over to Lynn. Tonya, take it away.
Tonya Bromley with Northwest Natural, also McHead and United Way of the Columbia Gorge. If you guys get out to River Trail Road, you'll see the progress on our new building is continuing. Even with all of the gusty winds, they're still getting that tin up on the sides and the roofing, but that's probably the biggest challenge they've had during construction. So yeah, take a drive or a walk out that way and take a look. Thanks.
Fantastic. Thank you, Tonya. And introducing Lynn Cox, Executive Director of the Dalles Area Chamber. Lynn, thank you for serving as my technical backup this morning. I didn't know if this was going to work or not with all the issues I've been having. Lynn, you're muted. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
We got you fixed.
You sure did. Thank you.
You're good to go. It took a bit, but you're good to go.
All right.
Lynn Cox. Lynn Cox. I'm the new CEO of the Dalles Area Chamber of Commerce. And that's about it. I'm still in the learning stage. I'm absorbing a lot.
I think one of these days we'll make you the guest on this show, and let's have a broader introduction. Tell us about yourself and so on.
Yeah.
We'll
So after, yes, definitely, I can do that. But yeah, right now I'm really absorbing everything and listening to what our members want and need, and so we can adjust and shift if we need to do that. So yeah.
Anytime you have questions, background, we're all here for you. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you.
We'll turn this over to Shana and then Leslie Naramore. Shana Ray. We'll wait for Shana and we'll turn it over to Leslie Naramore and then Liz Wilbur. Leslie.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Leslie Naramore, Executive Director of Mid-Columbia Community Action Council, which is the community action agency for Hood River, Wasco, and Sherman counties. And I wanted to share an update this morning that we have been finalizing our budget for the next fiscal year, and this year we do have the funding to open the Gloria Center pallet shelters seasonally. So those will be open November through Marchish this year instead of on an emergency basis as they have been in the past. So we're really excited for that. Thank you.
That's very good news, Leslie. Thank you. Congratulations. We're glad that your budget can cover that. We know these are trying times.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
that's good news. Liz Wilbur and then Lisa Gamgee.
Good morning, everyone. Liz Wilbur with Columbia Cascade Housing Corporation. I don't think I have anything new to report. We're knee deep in our home repair programs. I think we have about half of the slots allotted already. Tons of need in the area and continue to pursue funding. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Liz. Lisa Gamby.
Good morning, everybody. Lisa Gamby. I'm former Wasco County Clerk and a candidate for Commissioner Position 1 in the November general election. It's nice to be back with everybody.
Lisa, it's great to have you back. Thank you for joining us this morning. And we have Jill Amory. Hey, Jill.
Morning, Dan. Jill Amory, your assessor and tax collector for Wasco County. No real updates. We're just doing what we do, our seasonal evaluation work, getting ready for tax roll.
Right. Jill, thank you for joining us this morning. I don't know if Shayna Ray is back on or not.
Hey,
There we are. Go ahead, Shayna.
Shayna. I'm currently painting the side of a building, so I'm encumbered. But I am doing historic restoration for the city, and I'm just here to check it out.
All right. Thank you, Shayna. And with that, we're going to turn this over to our guest this morning, Ellen Woods, Executive Director of the Dalles Art Center.
Yeah.
Ellen, and folks, if we have questions, let's hold until the end of the presentation on this one. Go ahead and put your questions in the chat or raise your hand. And Ellen, take it away.
All right. Well, thank you for having me. My name's actually Ellen Woods Potter. I realize I haven't updated it on Zoom. I haven't used Zoom in a while. But I'm here to give a quick update about a public art installation that the Art Center has been working on with the city for about 2 years now, since I took over as the executive director in June of 2024. We've been in talks about this project, and it's finally coming to fruition this summer, late summer, fall. So I'm excited to share the details with everybody. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I apologize if this is a little clunky, just because I'm new to Zoom here.
It's coming in.
Okay, perfect. Let me get it into presentation mode here. Okay, so the project we're working on that we have been working on for a couple of years now is the roundabout art installation. I'm sure everybody's familiar with the roundabout on the east end of town at the bottom of Brewery Grade. And we've gotten a lot of outreach about the murals that have faded on those panels, the city and the art center, and there's been a lot of questions about it and what's going to happen there. So we finally are ready to share our full project. This project is a living river ecosystem is the primary concept. These are just some kind of rough designs, mock-ups of how the general concept is going to work. Obviously, it's going to be a little more detailed, as we'll see further on. But the concept is it's going to be a base of navy blue 1-inch matte tiles that will represent the water, the Columbia River. And then we are partnering with the Mid-Columbia Community College's welding and manufacturing program to create three-dimensional metal fish that will sit on rods of varying heights in schools are going around the roundabout as if they're traveling with traffic, but they're going to be designed to look as if they are traveling naturally in schools as they would in the river. So we'll kind of get into the details of each panel here in just a little bit, but
So
This is
Ellen, if
the
I could break
general
in,
concept.
Ellen, if I could break in just for a
Mhm.
second, in the upper right hand, far upper right hand corner of your Zoom screen,
Mhm.
a little box up there that'll say, if you click on it, say standard and then side by side speaker. You want to be on standard, and that way we'll be able to see more of the presentation.
You can't see. Okay, let's see here.
Far upper right hand corner.
Mhm.
Little box up there next to the little diamond shaped star. And you go down and it'll say,
Gotcha. Okay, let's
and then go to
see here.
standard instead of side by side.
Oh, I'm gonna stop sharing and do this again because I think I selected that. So let's do this one
Okay.
more time and we'll
Sorry
get
about
going.
that.
No,
That
thank
way
you.
we're
We're gonna go content only. There we go. There we go. Is that better?
there we go. There we
Okay.
go. You got it. Thank
All
you,
right.
Ellen.
Yeah, I apologize for that.
No worries. They're all different.
They are. I'm used to Google Meet. Okay, so this project has been, as I mentioned, 2 years in the making. We have had quite a bit of local collaboration and input on this project, trying to represent as many voices as possible. As mentioned, we are partnering with MCCC. The students enrolled in the fall 2026 semester will be the ones doing this initial creation of the fish. It is they'll be creating the 3D metal fish sculptures according to our instructions as decided upon by our community arts committee. We have, and that program is led by Robert Clark, who is amazing and has done a couple mock-ups for us, as we'll see later on. We've consulted with representatives from the Intertribal Fisheries Department as well as the Yakima Tribal Council to select species with the greatest historical and cultural significance. In addition to the art installation, we will also host some presentations and hopefully some programming related to the installation that will connect us with those local tribes as well. I've also spoken a little bit with Amy L. from Warm Springs, and we're hoping to incorporate some more collaboration with the Warm Springs organization as well. We've consulted with the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife, who provided us with a list of the most ecologically significant species in the region. We then were able to kind of mesh and compare that list of fish with the tribal list and decide upon which species to start with. And we settled upon 11 species. Summer Art Camp this year is an additional little fun thing that we are incorporating into this project to get some youth involvement. They will be painting a mural during our second annual mural camp, and led by Danae Mannion, and it's going to reflect the concept of the roundabout. So it will be on the retaining wall at the Sunshine Mill. It will feature the river as viewed from the riverbed from below, with different species of fish kind of swimming above, and we'll feature those fish that we'll see in the roundabout. We've also because we're right there next to the Sunshine Mill, we've been in discussions with them. They are going to generously host the ribbon cutting ceremony once this initial installation is completed. And they are also hosting that summer art camp and giving them a wall for the mural as well as a classroom space so that the kids don't have to cross too many streets and dangerous traffic. They'll be doing their camp right there on site and work on the mural for 2-hour-and-a-half periods each day. We have 2 camps for that. First to third graders will start off laying the base colors, and then the 4th to 6th graders will add the detail work at the end. And we do have spots left in those camps if there's any kids interested in participating. We really encourage it. It was hands down our most popular camp last year, and the kids love having hand in public art. I think it's something that could really trigger a lifetime of involvement in the arts for these kids. Finally, the basis of the decision making in this installation was our Community Arts Committee. This committee has been in a lot of flux over the last couple of years. We've had different members join and different members leave, but the decision making on the tile color, on the fish species that were being added, and on and some of the guidance on where to go with this project all came from the Community Arts Committee. So the details, here's the kind of nitty gritty on it. The tiles are a 1-inch navy blue matte tile. This was a decision made to reduce glare because of the roundabout being a center for traffic. We don't want glare. We also decided on this design because it's very obvious what it is and people won't be stopping to inspect, is the hope on their drive around the roundabout. The goal is to make it a beautiful entrance to town and not a distraction for drivers. These matte tiles are dyed all the way through. They're not just coated in the color. So if there is chipping, you won't be able to notice it, and there shouldn't be fading. They are pool grade tiles, so they're made for use inside of water, so they shouldn't be super affected by the weather either. We are using a simple gray grout on that, and this will be installed by Brian Woolsey. He's the only CTF certified contractor in the region, and he is a local resident. The tile is also being purchased through a local company. We're trying to keep all of the funding here in town, supporting local artisans, local businesses, and the local school. We are working with Gary Denny Floor Covering. They've worked out a special deal for us in order to support public art in the Dalles, which we're very grateful for because it's helped to keep our pricing down for this project. The fish sculptures are going to be made out of mixed metals. The concept is that these will rust and age differently over many, many years. I'm hoping this will be here for a very long time. That will create a little bit more visual interest as it ages. The metal's also being treated to reduce glare. I know they're sandblasting the metal, and Robert and his students are experimenting with different chemical treatments, I believe, to kind of dirty them up and kind of pre-age them, but also to make sure that there's no glare coming off of those fish. We have consulted with the roads department, with city maintenance, and everybody on this. We've had a couple of on-site meetings, and we have a couple more to go. The fish. Here's a couple examples. So as you can see, the bottom example, the long-nosed dace, this was Robert's original piece that he made for our auction in 2025, where we started promoting this project. As you can tell, it's been, I believe it's been chemically treated, but it was not sandblasted yet. So it still has the glare. The sturgeon above it has been sandblasted, so the glare is not there, but it has not had any of the dirtying up treatments. We have 5 panels. We've decided on 11 fish species to start. The first one will feature 2 sturgeon and 8 smelt. The second panel will feature 5 red band trout, Deschutes red band trout, aka resident trout, 2 sockeye salmon in the spawner phase. That's that classic red hook-nosed salmon when you think of the salmon here, and 3 long-nosed dace. They're a little bottom feeder, and that's the one, I believe, and that's the bottom mock-up image there. Panel 3 will feature 6 whitefish and 4 coho salmon in their adult phase. Panel 4 will feature 6 Chinook salmon in their adult phase. Featuring 4 salmon, which the salmon are such an important part of our ecosystem here in the Columbia River. Doing them in different life phases, we found is going to be the best way to distinguish them. The coho and Chinook have different features, even regardless of their coloring, because we won't be painting these items. We wanted some that were going to feature more varying body shapes. And as you can see, Chinook salmon's a little bit more round-bodied, I'd say. I don't know the technical fish term for that. And then we have 4 Pacific lamprey, and these will be of varying angles, showing their elongated faces as well as their classic terrifying mouth. They are actually probably the species that's going to be the most highlighted in our original work here, as we will be doing some work with the Intertribal Fisheries Department during summer camp, where they come and do a demo for the kids, telling them about the history of the use of lamprey by local tribes, and doing a little art project with them each week of the mural camp. Finally, the panel 5 will feature 6 steelhead and 4 chum salmon in spawner phase. They have these distinctive stripes that should be fairly easy for the students to create out of the metalwork. Our funding for this project, we've been very blessed over the last couple of years to receive multiple grants and large donations for this project. We are working with the Oregon Cultural Trust. We just received $30,000, or about at the beginning of the year, I was notified we received $30,000, $30,723 for this project. We recently were confirmed with the National Endowment for the Arts, NEA, for $27,000. Google generously donated $25,000 for the manufacturing portion of this. So their portion of the project is donated directly to MCCC. They are supporting their welding and manufacturing program with this funding, and basically covering the cost of all of the metal, all of the school's work, with that really obviously integral part of this design. The remainder of the funding comes from the city of the Dalles. The Dalles Art Center is on an annual contract with the city for public art work for $15,000. These are funding amounts that have been decided by, I believe, City Council years ago, actually prior to me becoming the director. That's for our work on this public art, which is on City of the Dalles land. We are just facilitating and planning it. We also have a fund with the City of the Dalles of about $26,000 that is flex for additional coverage of any public art installation. But we, after speaking regularly with Matthew Cleaves, our city manager, we've decided that the priority is this roundabout installation. So that is our gap funding to cover any increase to the budget, which after 2 years of planning, of course, there's a little bit of increase in some of the material pricing. So here's the exciting part about this project, and why, in my opinion, why we received so many grants. In addition to working with students, which is a big draw and is really exciting for the community and for the grant writers that gave us this funding. This will be a living art project. It's starting with 10 fish per panel, but the concept of it is that we can continue to grow this. We can continue to create our own little ecosystem there in the center of the roundabout. So this is something that students from each semester or each year can create and add new fish species, add some bird species, mammal species. This is something the Community Arts Committee can continue to decide upon year after year. So I encourage people to join that committee if you're interested in making this sort of decision. And it's something that we will continue to seek funding for in order to make those additions happen as regularly as possible. I think I'm obviously very excited about this project. I think it's a really great way to not only create a public art installation for the city that in a spot that really needs to be beautified there, but also to create an ongoing passion project for members of the community and for students to have an artistic outlet. So yeah, that's my that's my spiel, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
And we have one coming in right now from Roger. That is fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, Ellen.
Thank you very
Roger.
much. By the way, I want to compliment you on your recent show. We ended up buying a couple of pieces from Jeannie McCarthy that we really enjoy. And
Yeah,
so the
beautiful show.
reason that, as I was listening through all this, it really feels like this is an extension of the Confluence project with Maya Lin. Have you done any talking with the Confluence people?
I've not.
Just a thought.
Yeah, I will take note of that.
Good
I
idea,
have a
Roger.
question.
Corliss, go ahead. And tell you what, if you would, Ellen, if you would drop your screen share now,
Is it still
and
sharing?
then we'll go back to go back to tiles.
Yes.
So
Ellen?
right
Yep.
down at the bottom. Oh, Corliss, go ahead.
Oh, Ellen, you were talking about working with students, and your slides had MH. It's not Mount Hood, it's Columbia Gorge Community College, right? That you're working with? Your
Yes.
slide did not say CGCC. It said something
Oh,
else.
it said MCC. I'm sorry.
So I just
CGCC.
I
Yes.
just want to make sure that it's CGCC.
I apologize for that.
Yeah.
Yes. Gotten my
Okay.
my shortenings mixed up there.
And we're back on tiles now, Ellen. So I think that was probably on my end. Other questions. Shayna, you have a question for Ellen.
Hey,
Go ahead, Shayna.
I'm wondering, you say the placement's at the bottom, like the bottom portion of the roundabout, is that correct, or where the tile is?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Is it the bottom portion of the roundabout where the fish is placed, or the tile pieces themselves?
It's on the tile piece. So the fish are mounted onto the tile at varying heights on different on rods of varying heights.
Is it like a vertical, or is it like on top of the tile laying down kind of? Like, are they?
No, it's on top of the tile on a vertical, but they're short rods. So they're going to be a physical kind of layering, if you can see my...
Ellen, I'm going back to screen share on my side,
Okay.
your original slide. There you go.
So it's going to be kind of a...
Let's see.
If you can see my hands. They're going to be layered, different heights around the roundabout. And that's going to create space to add
So
as many as we see fit.
Correct.
Sorry, what was that?
Nobody's going to be able to touch them?
No, that's a good point. There will be no wording. There's going to be nothing inside on the roundabout. People cannot cross the roundabout. There's no crosswalks there. But we do have plans to put a detailed, I apologize, the word doesn't
Signage?
come to me, but yeah, signage for
interpretive panel.
in the
Interpretive
little
panel.
park and go area. There's the garden across from the roundabout with a bunch of that sage, and there's already a little plaque. That's the word I'm looking for. Plaque there that has details about the mural tour, and we plan on putting a plaque there as well with the details of the roundabout. That is a portion of the project that is to come, because we are in consultation with a couple tribes right now, trying to finalize if we will be utilizing the native terms for the fish, or and how to do so appropriately if we do go in that route. So that is phase 2 of this project, and will likely be completed at the beginning of next year. But yeah, we don't want anybody approaching the roundabout. We will be hosting the official ribbon cutting, the physical cutting of the ribbon in that parking lot right across. Mm-hmm.
And I only bring this up because those type of steel materials are highly conductive. And one of the things that I run into as I'm doing public art is you have to make sure that there's a high quality reflective coating on there. That's a heat resistant, like clear coat. So it mitigates kind of the heat on that. So if anybody can touch it, it's not going to be an issue.
Yeah. Okay. I'll make sure to ask Robert Clark about that. He's the instructor for the metalwork, but I'm going to take note of that, because that is a really good point.
I was up at the Skill Center a couple of weeks ago, and Robert is very much engaged in this. I saw some of the initial. It's pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, it's very cool because the students, some of the more artistically inclined students, I believe, are actually hand drawing and designing these fish, and then they figure out how to incorporate it into their cutting and metal work. It's we've done several projects with Robert in the past, and it's nice to give the students in the program a really kind of creative outlet where they have to figure out the aesthetic side of the metalwork as well.
Julie, you have a question.
Yeah, I appreciate the foresight. I'm thinking ahead about how headlights and so forth might reflect off the metal. That's pretty cool. You mentioned something about dirtying the fish. What does that mean?
So dirtying, it was a term that Robert mentioned actually, for lack of a better term, in order to keep them all from just looking flat and the same color from the get-go. They will rust, and they will rust differently as we're using, I believe they're using aluminum, steel, and there's a third metal that is escaping me right now. But they are going to rust differently, but we wanted to create a sort of fun patina on them as well to just create more visual interest from the beginning so it doesn't look quite as flat. So that's where he's kind of, he told me him and his students are experimenting currently to try to figure out the best way to do so. The sandblasting is what removes that shine, and so that's the first step, the most important step, because we can't have that glare.
Is each fish made of a single metal, or are the metals combined within a fish?
No, it sounds like each fish is a single metal. They'll just be mixing the different metals throughout. So a school of fish should, in theory, age similarly to each other, but in contrast to the other fish on the same panel. Mm-hmm.
And from the design, Ellen, it appears that the fish are well above the apron where people sometimes need to drive up on the
Yeah, they will
on the
be
trapeze.
on the panels. On the panels. And one thing I do want to assure everybody of is that we are only working on the panels currently. This is, like, as I mentioned, a living art project, and that could change in the future. But right now, we are not messing with the lighting. We are not messing with the feature on top of the roundabout in the center. We are just trying to improve the panels, the original panels that were there that have the very faded murals on them.
And by using tile, you're going back to the base tile. That was the original idea for the artwork in the first place, was to use tile rather than paint, knowing the paint would fade.
Well, we went through a lot of phases of initial design with this and with initial concepts where I spoke with a bunch of with different artists and different manufacturers and tried to price everything out, and it became very evident that another mural was not an option. My primary consultation was with Chris Pothier, a local muralist, who said that it was just it's not really something that's feasible to last that long with the angle of the panels, with the weather beating down on them, with the snow sitting on them. It will eventually fade.
Yep.
The tile work, we looked into mosaic tiles and having a designed piece of art that's imprinted onto tiles and having those tiles installed. We were looking at about 3 to 4 times the budget. So this was by working with the school, by utilizing student artwork, and by really engaging our local community, we were able to bring the total cost of this project down to, I believe we're at about $115,000 on it, and which is about a third of what the original projection was for a tile installation there.
Good work. Good work. We have a question from Mike and then a question from Judy in the chat. Mike, go ahead.
Ellen, who I saw who's going to do the tile work, but who will actually install the fish?
The fish, that is going to be a collaboration between the tile installer and Robert Clark. Robert typically does his own installation. Brian Woolsey will be on site to ensure that it's installed properly on top of the tile. We've spoken with both of them. That is going to be the best way to install the metal rods. They're installed on metal plates on top of the tile. There will not be students ever present on the roundabout, and there will be no volunteers present on the roundabout. We are only utilizing licensed contractors in that work for safety and liability purposes.
And then
thank you. This is an exciting project.
I'm excited about it.
And this is one of many different projects underway, programs underway at the Art Center. And the question from Judy relates to, I think, a related one, but the summer art camps. Can you tell us more about other art camps coming up for kids? And also, can students from Goldendale participate in that?
Absolutely. So our charter at the Dalles Art Center reaches a lot further than the Dalles. The title can be a little bit misleading, but we actually serve everywhere from Stevenson and Cascade Locks to Goldendale and Biggs. The entire Mid-Columbia Gorge region falls within our charter. We have 4 camps remaining. We are in the middle of our second camp. We do 1 camp for each age group for each subject. So we're in our second week of ceramics camp. This is the end of ceramics camp. Next week, we have literary arts. It starts with 4th to 6th graders. The following week is literary arts for 1st to 3rd graders. That camp is taught by a local retired librarian, and she will be working with the students to learn the basics of storytelling and illustration. So the students will get to create their own book and leave with their own book at the end of that camp. The final 2 weeks of camp are at the Sunshine Mill, and that's our mural camp. Last year, and this is led by Danae Mannion, who I'm sure most of you are familiar with, painting murals around town. She has been a long time instructor and member at the Dalles Art Center, teaching many programs. It's her 3rd year with me teaching summer art camp. And our previous mural camp last year was, I believe the address is 102 West 2nd Street. It's the State Farm building there across from Clock Tower. The students worked on a Winnie the Pooh mural on its 100th anniversary. That was a special project to the Art Center because we have a small, tiny area of the previous children's portion of the library. The mural that was inside, we saved little vintage Winnie the Pooh portion of that when we converted it to a classroom. And so the kids got to paint the 100-acre wood over there, and they had a blast. We had our biggest ribbon cutting ever, or during my tenure with the Art Center, at that ribbon cutting for that mural. And I hear feedback from parents a lot that the kids want to drive by it and see their work. So it's exciting for the kids to get to see that portion of art and how exciting it can be to be involved in public service as well. So this year it will be on the retaining wall at the Sunshine Mill that's down next to their new entrance on the east side of the building. And I've got initial designs from Danae, and it's going to be beautiful. It's it's shot, as I mentioned, from below, and it's kind of swirling fish leading up to the daylight above. So you get to see the bottom feeders, you get to see some different layers of the fish species there. So it's also a way for the kids to be like, I was involved in that roundabout project, because this goes with it.
So good to see it happening. I was on a meeting of the historic Highway Commission, just listening in, and there's a roundabout proposed for Hood River, and so the committee put together some other examples of roundabout, one in Bend and the one in the Dalles, which was nice, except it was a photo of the current roundabout, and I'm thinking, oh
Yeah.
gosh, that is so
Yeah.
deteriorated. So, boy,
One
this is going
last
to be
thing I
nice.
should mention about summer camps before we move on is that we do offer a sliding scholarship for those. So not only can kids from all over the Mid-Columbia Gorge region participate, but we offer up to we offer 25, 50, 75, and 100% scholarships on those. We don't require proof of need. All that a parent or guardian needs to do is call the art center or stop in, and we will process a scholarship for them. We typically give out between $10,000 and $14,000 in scholarships every year. This is a program that the Dalles Art Center covers a large portion of, but we also have received some generous funding for this from the Masons. We've received help from the Elks in the past. Kiwanis just did a scholarship for a single student, which is amazing. And we also have individuals in the community that'll sponsor a single student. We do also have a new scholarship fund, a memorial fund that will that people can contribute to as well, that distributes $2,000 in scholarship per year. This is the first year with that.
Very good. Helen, the Art Center is 501c3 nonprofit.
It is. Mm-hmm.
There we go. Okay. Other questions? Ellen Woods Potter. Oh, what are the ages for the last camp with the mural? Are there openings?
There are openings. We, I believe, have 5 openings left in that camp, unless somebody signed up overnight. It is for students entering 4th to 6th grade. So we do it by kind of more by education level than by age. And that is the group that will be doing more of the detail work on the mural.
Liz, what about upcoming projects, initiatives, things that you might be looking for additional community support for? What's on the horizon over the next couple of years?
At the Art Center?
Yep.
Yep. Well, we've got a lot that we're looking for support for. Primarily, I'd say right now we're in a transition period with some staffing. We're hiring a new deputy director. I've been in interviews the last couple of weeks for that role. Some really great candidates. We're very excited about staffing for that. But we are a 2-person team at the Art Center primarily. We've got a couple of flex staff that fill in here and there as we need coverage, but it's just myself and the deputy director running everything. And we rely heavily on volunteers. And we also, of course, rely on donations from the community and grant funding. It's a major portion of our income. I believe it has the last couple of years been about 60% of our income coming from private donations. But what I would really love to see is more community involvement with the Art Center. We're doing a lot of outreach and have put in a lot of effort to collaborate with other organizations, schools, businesses in town, and we would really like to see some new faces and see some new people coming in and pouring wine at the events or helping with student art camp. We have seen an influx in volunteers lately, and it's been amazing to see, but we have so many opportunities for people with backgrounds of all different types and skills of all different types to help out if you're looking for a place to connect with community. That's a major focus for us right now. So that's what we're looking for currently. As far as big plans, we hope to be able to expand our programming a little bit more. Since I've taken on the role of executive director, we have reinstated a student art show. Last year, we'll be having our 2nd annual student art show this year. And we've also been able to facilitate 2 artist in residence programs at 2 of the local schools over the last 2 years, with current plans to to find funding and provide that to one school per year. But we would love to see an increase in that. We would love to be able to provide more programming. We'd love to be able to do more programming with the retirement and aid facilities, a little bit more work with people of different needs in town as well. We've worked a little bit with community access services and hope to kind of reinstate that. And then we've been really working at a lot of cultural outreach and are hoping to see a really big turnout for our Hispanic Heritage show and festival this year. It'll be our second annual one. This is a program for new and emerging, but also established artists of Hispanic heritage in the Gorge. And we feature a live band, dancing horses. We kind of shut down just the area in front of the Art Center for a half a day on a Saturday. And we would like to really see a lot more involvement from all of the members of our community.
Excellent. I'm glad you're doing that outreach to our Latino population. Thank you. Thank you. Lee, you got a question.
Well,
you're looking past
two comments. First off, that Latino Heritage Festival last year was a blast and had some of the best food I've had locally. So highly recommend it. I just want to compliment you, Ellen. You're doing a phenomenal job. And this roundabout project is extremely complicated. I know you guys have been working on it for 3 years, maybe. Just keep us apprised. Maybe the chamber could have a little update, or we could republish what you put in your newsletter, because it's complicated and we need to all be supportive of it and help this really succeed. It's gorgeous. It's so exciting.
Thank you, Lee. Yeah, it's been a long time coming, this project, and we are finally in this final phase of it where we can start the installation. It's crazy to say the final phase is the actual installation of the project, but it is. So the tile work is set to start at the end of August. It does need to be completed before the weather drops below 40 degrees. Then, as I mentioned, the students from the fall semester will be creating the fish, and the installation is set to be complete by the end of the year.
Question, Ellen, on that one. Mike has a question also, but I'm curious about traffic control. Will traffic continue to proceed through the roundabout, or will
Yes. Yeah, so we are working very closely with the City Roads Department. The installer will be pulling his vehicle up onto that lip of the roundabout to unload early every morning that he's working on there, and then his car will be removed. So it will be placed over in the parking lot there next to him. So there will be some cones and signage. I'm not sure exactly what type there are requirements. It is the city-owned signage and cones that will be used to protect our contractor there and make sure that people are aware of where he's working and that they're not going to drive up on that lip right where the work is being done. But we don't plan on shutting down traffic or impeding it in any way.
All right. Mike, you are muted, sir. There you
go. Ellen, has there been any talk about reaching out to the senior community? Like something at the Veterans Home or at the Senior Center or something like that?
In relation to this project specifically, or just in general?
No, just in general, like maybe even a camp for seniors or.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we actually have a program coming up at the end of this month with Gorge Transit. They do a senior field trip. They'll be bringing a group of seniors to the Art Center for, it looks like it's going to be an embroidery class. Our embroidery instructor is doing an intro level class. She's working on scaling it up to accommodate different abilities and different vision abilities to be able to for everybody to be able to enjoy it. They'll also be visiting the gallery and exploring our exhibit and gallery shop. I have my personal plans for a lot more outreach to those organizations in the fall. As I've dove into this role over the last couple of years, it's kind of been one new thing per year that we're adding in, and one extended outreach per year. Last year was a lot more student art and trying to engage the youth. I think we're doing pretty good on that front. We've made a lot of strides. This year, we really tried to do a lot more intercultural outreach and engage all of the members of different cultures of our community, and reaching out to those care facilities and senior outreach is a major priority of mine for next year. I am going to be going on leave for the last 3 months of this year. Unfortunately, during some of this art installation, I'll be around for it, but I have a maternity leave coming up. So as soon as I get back from that, I will be working really closely with engaging those facilities and communities. I think it's the next step for us in our community outreach.
Congratulations on that, Ellen, to you personally.
Thanks.
And Judy, no worries about the questions. These are all good questions. And your question is, can homeschool students participate?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's no nobody that can't participate. We actually are able to accommodate just about every need as well, as long as if there is any children with special needs that require direct one-on-one attention, we do ask that they come with an aide or with an adult to assist them. But we accommodate any child in the area, and that's part of why we offer the scholarships as well, to make sure that there's not a financial barrier. But no, it doesn't matter what school they attend or their ability level. Our instructors have multiple projects and different ways to adjust those projects for different needs.
Very good. Final question from me, Ellen. Do you have a target date for the official opening? We do the installation starting in August. Do you have a target date at this point?
At this point, it will depend on the student creation of those fish. It is a lot of the project, and we don't want to. They also have their standard curriculum that needs to be accomplished. So I believe that we are probably realistically looking at a December ribbon cutting as the fall semester wraps up, and those completed fish have gone through the approval of the Arts Center and the Community Arts Committee and are installed. We do have a current new board member, Abby Stackhouse, who will be the point of contact for this project for small details while I'm on my leave. She's a fish biologist. So she'll do the final review of those fish before the students make multiples of them, and she'll be able to verify that they fit the project.
And I see that Abby has just joined us here a few minutes ago. And then Tanya, you have a question, but there we go, Tanya.
Yeah, it's more of an invitation than a question. I just want to invite anyone associated with the Arts Center, whether it be the board, your volunteers, or obviously you guys are a small team of 2. So I wouldn't expect you and your executive or your deputy to attend, but love to have you guys attend more of the chamber events, whether that be the morning buzz or business after hours or on Wednesday at Wired. It's a great place to share all of the updates and to meet more of those business members that could help, expand some of your goals as well.
Yeah, I really appreciate that invitation. I'm going to pass that along to our board, and I'll make more of an effort to attend more things as well. As you mentioned, it is tough with the 2-person staff. We are tight, but we do have a working board, and we have some new board members that have recently come in. that I think are excited to get involved with the Art Center and the community. And so I'm gonna extend this invitation and see if we can get to be a little bit more regular.
I think that's
Oh,
a
that'd be
great
great. I
point.
think there's a lot of great people with the chamber.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what a working board is for. Get them out in the community. Good
Yeah.
work, Ellen.
Thank you.
All right, we are 1 minute past the hour. I don't see any other questions. Our guest this morning has been Ellen Woods Potter, Executive Director, the Dalles Art Center. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We'll see you next week at the Dalles Community Affairs. Enjoy the rest of your week and the weekend. Bye now.
Bye.